Hello, and welcome to our daily reflections on Monday the 8th of June. The readings for today are in front of you. If you haven't read them already, you might want to pause this recording and have a look at them now. On Saturday, our reading from Joshua was about the battle for Jericho, a battle about as unlike a conventional siege as anything you could imagine. God conquered Jericho for the Israelites because the Israelites trusted God and did as he commanded, except in one respect. God had commanded that the conquest of Jericho was not to be a conquest of plunder. It wasn't the Israelites defeating Jericho, but God alone. And yet some of the Israelites had plundered the city after the walls had fallen. The next battle, then, is marked by overconfidence. Rather than awe at the God who could defeat a city-state like Jericho at the blast of trumpets, the lesson that some of the Israelites take is that they can conquer this land through their own efforts alone. In our passage in Joshua this morning, they are abruptly shown the consequences of not following God's commands. Joshua's response is appropriate. He immediately recognizes that the problem is not with the Israelites' the problem is with the Israelites' relationship with God, not with their military strategy. This is the lesson that is echoed by our psalm today. Blessed is the one who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. The story of the Good Samaritan is very familiar to us. We often feel we can skip over it, because we know it inside out. But it's told as an illustration of a vital point, that all the commandments God gave Israel can be boiled down to two essential features: to love God with all you have, and to love your neighbour as yourself. The two go together. This is reflected in something that Jesus says in John, when he tells his disciples, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments." God's love for us is absolute and unchanging, but he calls us to love him as well. When we go our own way rather than God's way, we fall down. He will not impose himself on us when we reject him. This is what has happened in Joshua. But when we follow him and keep his commandments and recognize our need for him, he will be with us.